Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Batcolyte. Let's go ahead and tap the screen and share the live. Also, really quick, gotta thank Everlasting God for knocking out the entire goal before I even. We are here, as we always are, to question you're wrong, but to find out, well, if you can even question your beliefs, then what is it that you believe, and why do you believe it? And if you don't have a belief, if you have no God, no higher power, nothing like that, well, you're still not in the wrong place. Make sure that you're tapping the screen, sharing the live, and get your questions ready, because that is what we're here for, not to debate, not to argue, not to belittle or put down, but to see if you can question your beliefs. Let's see. I think we might already have a guest. But before I do take anybody up, I gotta welcome everybody in. Welcome Delilah Scissors. Welcome also to Charlie the Hypnotist. Good to see you. Bree, also good to see you. I'm sure I saw Morgan Le Fay. Welcome in. Welcome Dark Knight. Crystal J. Welcome Bats. Welcome Hedge Witchery. Good to see you. And Kat, good to see you. Also, Vi Tackett, Wendy Jennings, Lily, Frank Santino, and Peyton. Good to see you all. Welcome in. Welcome White Chocolate, Surfing Stage. Welcome Scott and Lawrence. Welcome Kiki, Yo Java. Also welcome to Rena and Larissa, to He, to Red Dog, to Ash, and to Rose. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate all of you. And if anybody watching has a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that, and you're capable of questioning your beliefs, go ahead and request on up. Let's see. Hello, Frank. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
I'm 44. I'm from New York City.
And do you have a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything
No,
like
I'm the
that?
people of the book. I'm the people of the book.
You're the people of the book. What do you mean by that?
Hey, allow me to introduce myself. Hey, you want to know in 1 minute?
I'm asking you what book. You said you're the people of the book. What book are you talking about?
The Bible. What book is there? What
Have
book?
you read the Bible?
Whatever. Oh, come on, man. You
Have you
asking
read
nonsense.
the Bible?
You're asking nonsense.
I asked you if you've read the Bible. Frank, are you drunk right now? Why don't you take a breath? I muted you. Why don't you take a breath? I muted you. I just need you to answer the questions, real simple ones right now. So have you read the Bible from beginning to end, Franco? So far I haven't heard you speak up there, Franco.
The book of Job 9-24 tells you who the devil is.
I didn't
The
ask you
earth
about
has
who the
been
devil
given into
was.
the
I
hands of
asked
the
you,
wicked.
Franco.
He covered
Franco,
the faces
oh,
of the
you gotta
judges.
mute you for a moment because you're just preaching past me. When you figure out how to unmute yourself without the invite, why don't you go ahead and do that, and then tell me if you've read
Listen,
the
the
book
book of
from the
Job
beginning to the
9:24.
end. Oh, goodness. I'm not dealing with the shouting, Franco. This is your last time. If
The
you
book
come
of
back
Job
shouting past us,
9:24
then we're
tells
just
you
going
who
to
the
move on.
devil is.
There we go. And that was Franco, ladies and gentlemen. That's not how you question your beliefs. That's how you just scream random gibberish at me when I've asked you a very, very simple question. That's not what we're here for. So if you can question your beliefs, then go ahead and request on up. And we'll see how this goes. Speaking of the YouTube, we had a little glitch over there, so I'm getting that sorted out. But while I do, if anybody watching has a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that, and you're capable of questioning your beliefs, go ahead and request on up. Fascinating. Oh, I understand now. Let's welcome in. Welcome in, crazy oxygen lady, even if you are just here to hate watch. Welcome in, breaking the stigma. Good to see you. Danny Grax, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. As always. Kingfisher, good to see you. And Mermaid Flippers, Michael V. Artificial Red. So good to see all these friendly, familiar faces. Well, if any of you just joining us happen to have a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that, you're capable of questioning your beliefs, go ahead and request on up. I'm not here to debate or argue. I'm not here to belittle or make you look like a fool, although you may do that well enough on your own. I just want to know if you can question your beliefs, and if you can, then what is it that you believe, and why do you believe it? Here's good to see you. I saw Raccoon Trio, good to see you too. Hello, Forget-Me-Nots. I too am always excited to see what kind of conversations we get up to. Who will bring us something that we haven't heard before to question? Oh, it looks like I missed one here. TikTok changed the way they do this now, so I gotta. There it is, all in one. Thank you, Morgan LeFay, for helping with the gift goal. I appreciate you so much. If anybody else helped out there, I didn't see your name on the list, but I do thank y'all so much. They changed the gift goal setup and layout, so it's all different. I apologize if I'm a little behind on it.
Let's
Hello.
go.
Hello, Johan. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2007.
Do you have a belief in a god or God's higher power or anything like that?
Yep, Christianity. I believe in Jesus.
I see. And have you read your Bible from beginning to end?
No, I have not, because I am a new reborn, but I have a fair idea on like the Bible and stuff, but I can't tell you, like I don't have like verses memorized like some other people do, but I have an understanding of it.
How do you know that you have an understanding of it if you haven't read it?
No, I've read it. I read it daily, but I just don't have the I don't have verses memorized. Like I can't, tell you a verse like straight off the bat. And what is it? I haven't read the whole thing yet.
You can't tell me a verse straight off the bat because you haven't
No,
read the whole
unfortunately I
thing
can't.
yet. Do you believe the stories that you do know from it?
Yeah.
You believe them to be true and literal, like the 6-day creation, the Adam and Eve story. Those really happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you believe that?
Well, I believe it because how do I explain this? Wait, before I answer, are you an atheist or do you have anything
What
that
I
you
believe
believe?
won't matter to the exercise.
Sorry, what was that?
What I believe won't matter to questioning your beliefs.
Okay, all right. So I believe it because I don't think I don't think the world just magically, appeared out of nowhere. And I feel like there's so many religions out there, right?
I'm sorry,
And
you don't believe the world magically appeared out of
yeah,
nowhere.
yeah, that's why I'm not
Then,
atheist.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. You said you don't believe the world magically appeared out of nowhere, but you believe that it was magically created out of nowhere.
Yeah, because God was always here from the beginning, like the beginning of the universe. He was just always here. So I believe that, you know, he did create the earth, and
You say
that
he
is
was
the
always
cause.
here.
Yeah, that is the cause of us being here. I don't think, you know, we just magically appeared from nowhere.
But I
Like,
thought, wait, have you read Genesis 1?
yeah,
So, what do you mean we didn't magically appear from nowhere? If you believe Genesis 1, doesn't that
no, no, no,
doesn't that describe how the God makes things magically appear from nowhere?
no. I'm saying like from like atheists, like how they think. Like they think like we just magically out
Did
of
anybody ask you about atheists?
no, I'm just saying why I'm telling you like why I believe what I believe. Like
Right.
I'm just saying like out of everything, like out of every like beliefs, like why I have mine, and I'm just using atheists as an example because I don't think we came like I'm just telling you like out of everyone, like out of every religion.
You're saying that you believe in the creation story of the Bible
Yeah.
because you don't believe that things came out of nowhere. But isn't the creation story in the Bible describing a God creating things out of nowhere?
Yeah, because he has the power to, but I'm saying like
So,
I know what you're trying to say. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
so the difference is that in your story, in your version, things come out of nowhere because of God.
Yeah, he has the power to.
Because he what?
He has the power to do anything,
Because
to
he has the
create
power
anything.
to do it.
Yeah,
Why do you believe that?
because I feel like everything has a cause.
So if everything has a cause, what caused God?
That's the thing. He is like
So everything
he
has a cause except for God.
of course,
Why? Why does God get to be this special exception to the rule?
because he's God. Like he's just
Because
always
he's God.
there.
So you define him as the exception of the rule, and then make him fit as the exception of the rule to say there's an exception to this rule. Are there any other
Um,
exceptions to the rule? Is there anything else that
no,
wasn't
like
caused?
how do I explain it? That's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Are you atheist?
What I believe doesn't matter. You're trying to look for something to argue against. I'm not here to argue. I'm asking you about why you believe and accept the things you do.
Okay, so how do I explain okay, so out of every religion, right? Out of every religion, every belief,
Have you studied
I,
every religion?
like Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, like like every
Just
religion
those four.
ever. Like why I choose
So
mine
just those three
specifically.
and yours.
No,
Have
there's
you
obviously
studied
like
all the have you studied all the denominations of your religion to
yeah,
make sure
yeah.
you
I
have the
actually
right
looked
one?
in. Yeah, I actually looked
You
into.
studied all 45,000?
No, 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 no. Like the major one, I don't really believe in the. Like no disrespect to anyone in the chat that do have like other beliefs, but I chose the like major. I think what is it? Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, Islam,
Buddhism.
Christianity,
There's only Buddhism.
Buddhism,
No, 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 no. Buddhism.
Buddhism.
Why are you adding an extra ooh? It's just Buddhism.
No, the like there's the major religions. Like I looked into like every single last one of them before I chose to become a
You didn't
Christian.
look into like how they were written or pronounced, but you looked into them well enough to decide you don't believe them.
Yeah, because I just feel like, let me use Islam for example, because that's like really that was the first one I
I'm
looked
not
into.
asking you about Islam. I'm asking you if you'd read about all world religions. So you've decided just from a sample set of four um, that yours is the best one.
Yeah, 100%.
Why would you
Well,
think
no
that any
disrespect to
of
anyone.
those,
Like,
sorry, why would you think that any of those four would be the right answer?
oh, so you're atheist. I could tell you're atheist.
Fascinating.
Okay, why
Why
I
do you think, stop, why do you think that I'm atheist from that question?
because you said out of those four, why did you chose the one like that? Like those are the best ones. So I feel like.
Or any religion or any human has an answer to what your God is.
Oh, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Why would you think any religion or any human, for that matter, would have an answer to what God is?
Wait, one more time. Just one more time.
Holy fucking shit. Are you seriously not listening?
No, I'm listening. I just can't
Okay,
really hear.
we're just gonna move on to someone who's actually paying attention.
No, 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 no.
Yes, 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 yes. You can't seem to listen. If I have to repeat the question 3 times, then you don't belong up here. You're not listening. But if anybody watching does have a belief in a god or gods, a higher power, or anything like that, go ahead and request up. He probably was reading chat, Delilah. He didn't realize he was incapable of doing 2 things at once. Or he might have been inebriated. Either way, maybe another time. Exactly, Jimmy B. Buddhist. Hello, Tiffy. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
42.
And do you have a belief in a god or gods, excuse me, higher power or anything like that?
Higher power.
And what higher power is that?
Creator of all.
You believe there's a creator of all?
Yes.
Does it have a mind?
It's brilliant.
Does it have intentions for you?
For me in particular,
Or anyone?
for everyone.
So you believe in a mind that created all and has intentions for everyone?
I believe in a God that created all and has intentions for everyone.
Why?
Because you can't explain how the planets got here. You can't explain why gravity exists. Can't explain why air exists, water exists, why everything's so perfect and by design.
What does design mean?
Order. One thing feeds the next.
So if one thing feeds the next, then it is therefore designed.
Yes, it's intentional.
Is there anything that is not designed?
No.
So how have you been able to create this basis of comparison without something to compare it to? How do you know what design is if you don't know what design isn't?
Because design means order, and everything is in order within this realm that we live in.
So there is nothing that isn't in some kind of order?
Nope.
Is it possible that those orders are categories that you or other humans have decided or defined?
No, humans aren't capable of deciding or defining these orders. No. Because
Can you
if
give
we
me an
could,
example of an order that you were talking about?
okay, one order is trees give you oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. Trees give you food going. Easy.
You're saying because we breathe in what they breathe out, and vice versa, and that we
Yes.
expel something that they desire, and vice versa.
Right.
Therefore,
They
that's
feed
order.
us and we feed them right back.
Just to clarify, because we have some kind of relationship that we can
Synchronicity.
see. You've got to stop interrupting me. I don't know why you're doing that. Because you're seeing some kind of relationship between us and trees. You're saying, therefore, that's order. Could that relationship not have developed naturally?
Probably not, because I'm pretty sure the trees existed long before us and they don't actually need us because other animals will excrete and be able to benefit from the trees. I think humans.
Just to clarify.
So you can interrupt me, but I can't interrupt you.
Just to clarify.
So I guess that's a yes.
Yes, just to clarify. You're saying it's because they don't need us?
Are you done?
Are you saying it's just because they don't need us?
No, you interrupted me. I wasn't done speaking. Am I able to speak at this point?
Okay, so are we going to do this?
What is it that you want to do?
That's fine. We're going to move on. I'm not going to sit here and let somebody play perpetual victim. If anybody has a belief in a god or God's higher power or anything like that, go ahead and request on up. But I'm not doing that. Hello, Jatizi. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS?
I am 36, Black American, female. Yeah.
Do you have a belief in a god or God's higher power or anything like that?
Higher power. I do believe in a higher power. I can't say that I believe in the Bible or the Bible's God, but I do believe in a higher power.
So you can't say you believe in the Bible, but it is a higher power?
Correct, because when my people, before they were taken by your people, I will say that we had a higher power, someone else that we believed in, someone else that we prayed to. So I'm not going to say it is God. Hold on. I'm not going to say it's God in the Bible. That's what I'm saying.
Sure, I'm not asking about God in the Bible anymore. I ask, what does it mean for it to be a higher power?
Someone who created everything, someone who created the heavens, the earth, everything. So someone who created the other world besides our world,
So
a
something
higher
that
power.
created. Jatizi, I'm curious.
hmm
Are you driving right now?
I'm not. No.
Okay.
If you can hear my car, I'm in the car, but I'm not driving.
Okay. So you said something that created everything. Why do you decide that something created everything? I'm sorry, are we boring you?
No, I'm just listening to what you're saying. So for me, it's someone who created everything.
Why did you decide that something created everything?
Because someone had to create this world. I'm just understanding. That's what I'm knowing. That's what I
So
believe
what
in.
has led
I'm
you
not.
to that understanding?
I'm sorry?
What has led you to that understanding?
Nothing. That's what.
Okay,
That's
so you're just
me. That's me.
deciding
Hold
and
on. Hold on.
assuming.
Hold on. Hold
So
on. Let
if
me.
nothing has led
Can I
you to
answer
the
your question?
understanding,
Wait.
if nothing has led you to the understanding, you're not going to scream drunkenly over me. I'm done with that. So if nothing has led you to that understanding, you stop unmuting while I'm speaking. If nothing has led you to that understanding, is that not what an assumption is? Are you just deciding it without any indication?
I'm sorry. I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. You're saying that I'm
Okay, so you're
speaking.
definitely
Hold on.
inebriated. We're going to go on to
No.
somebody who's not
I'm trying.
drunk. I'm not interested in being drunkenly gibbered at. If you can question your beliefs, go ahead and request on up. I'm not here to debate or argue, though I may interrupt just for clarification's sake. I'm not here to make you look like a fool. I'm not even here to do whatever that was. I'm just here to see if you can question your beliefs. So far, we're, 0 for 3? There needs to be like a breathalyzer to hit the request button. I don't know. Nope, Tiffy. That's actually the opposite of what I want to do. I don't want to argue. Hello, Colin. You're trying
What's
to
yours?
figure out. I'm not here to answer questions, just ask them. So,
Oh fuck! All right, I got a few
question your
questions.
beliefs?
No, you shouldn't.
Why shouldn't you question your beliefs?
I mean, that's what everybody says, right? You shouldn't question your faith. No, I mean, no. I'm here too. I'm an outsider looking in.
So, can you question your beliefs, Colin?
I mean, I have things that I know for sure are capabilities of this world, but as far as like beliefs or faith, no. I can't say that I can. No.
You answered the first question. Do you believe in a God or God's higher power? Did you answer that with a yes, but you don't know, or was that where the I don't know was?
Well, there is a higher power for sure.
So what does higher power mean?
I guess higher power is the unjustifiable thing that moves forward.
The thing that moves forward.
Whatever it may be.
The higher power is the thing that moves forward.
But why is it
unjustified?
Why is it at all? Why is it at all?
Why is what at all, Colin?
It.
Colin, are you drunk?
How am I me?
Holy fuck. Drink some water, Colin. Try again later. Hello,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to request. What's up,
Okay,
dude?
no worries. I'll set you back down. Yeah, no worries. If you did mean to request, and you're in that queue, and you've got a belief in a god or gods, higher power, or something like that, throw a 1 in the chat. That'll help me know who's actually here to question their beliefs. Thank you all for getting us up to 22,000 likes. There's 85 of us in here. If we all just tap that screen a little more, I'm sure that we could get a few more in here who might actually be capable enough, curious enough, or courageous enough to question their beliefs. Well, hell yeah. Appreciate you guys. Charlie the Hypnotist, Delilah Scissors, Artificial Red, Yerza, 3 Pips, Danny Grex, and Star Child Official. I appreciate all of you for helping us with that goal. Thank you guys so much. Let's see if we can't get somebody else in here who might be able to question their beliefs. I don't know who's been waiting the longest, but let's see.
Good morning. It is morning for
Hello,
me.
Friv. I don't need your
Hello.
camera, but I do need your age for TikTok TOS.
I am 29 now.
Congrats like that. And what god is that?
I am a practicing folk Catholic witch who reveres both the Morrigan and the Kyloch. So, specifically, my beliefs are probably along
Can
the
you
lines.
elaborate on what you mean by faux Catholic?
I do not necessarily follow the doctrines or teachings of the Catholic Church. I grew up in a Catholic home, but I am not a practicing Catholic. Specifically, what I do is I look into rituals that my ancestors may have performed that might have been pagan or might not, and I try to practice them and honor my ancestors and their practices and their beliefs while also building my own.
So do you believe that any of these gods, the Catholic god, the Kyloch, the Morrigan, do you believe they exist?
I would say yes.
In what way do they exist?
That's the tricky part. I'm still STEM. Is they are both explanations for why the world is the way it is, and also a way to explain things that we can't necessarily understand or couldn't in the past. Do I think that they are necessarily... I don't know that I would say like real in the sense that you and I are physically present, because I have never, seen them or touched them. I would say enough energy into anything can become something. It's the definition of an egregore.
What is energy?
Energy? Well, that's a scientific question more than anything, and unfortunately for you, I'm not really a scientist.
So when you say enough energy into anything, and you don't know what the energy is, what are you actually
I would say
saying?
belief and prayer and things that people want to think.
Do you think
But I
that
would,
actually believing something makes it become real?
yes, that's the
What is,
definition of what an egregore is.
I'm sorry, you say that's the definition of what an egregore is. I thought egregores were required for multiple people to believe in them. Is that what?
Yes, that's why I'm
Okay.
saying that, like,
So if enough multiple people believe in a deity, then that deity will become real.
that's what I think, at least.
So if enough people believe in the celestial skeletal bat goddess unfurling her wings in accordance with the lambda cetium model of physics, otherwise known as the Big Bang, in which our universe is just one membrane between her bony appendages expanding to this day, that would be real if we believe it. And then suddenly our universe is just one membrane on the giant wing of a celestial skeletal bat goddess.
I mean, considering that's how the multiverse and string theory and dark matter are pretty much described in a lot of cases, according to scientists, I would say yes.
Is it not possible that someone just had a passing familiarity with those scientific explanations and understandings and then created a fictional character that kind of made
Yes.
them all make sense together?
Yes, absolutely.
So then how can it make that fictional character not fictional?
Well, just because it's fictional doesn't mean it can't be true in its own way, you know? May I give an example?
I suppose so. I was going to ask you about what you meant by true in its own way. Are there different ways of truth?
So, looking at, let's say, Lord of the Rings, if you know, a lot of what Gandalf says to Frodo in those cases of, like, you know, the things that are good in this world, you only need small bits of good to overcome the great evil and everything like that. And I'm paraphrasing here because I cannot remember the exact quotes for the life of me. That is true, you know? Great evil can be overcome with small acts of good by people.
In what way is that making something actually become real through belief?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. You're saying, like, physically present. I don't think that.
So then your gods are not physically present.
Right. I would say they're not.
Are they present in any way?
In any way?
Yeah, in what way are they present? Just as ideas, concepts?
I would put them on a parallel plane of existence that can reach ours but does not allow us to physically interact.
A parallel plane of existence?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Okay. You have two sheets on a bed. One's our world, one's where they are. You can hear through the sheet, but you can't, you know, touch something through the sheet.
Why would you think that there is a sheet there?
Because those are the planes.
Reason to believe.
Well, the multiverse theory certainly goes for that. I would put it as an imagination, like an interpretation of actual, like, you know, science, but
Cat, we hear the frogs, but we don't even see your profile picture. Are you there? I'll mute Cat for a moment. I can't mute Cat. Oh, there we go. Nope. Cat's not fully loaded in. All right. Somehow. Cat, try again. If you meant to be here. I was waiting for a question. The Kokies are usually a clue. She's about to say something. Hello, Morgan. Hello, Raccoon.
Hello, Thrayle.
Hey.
So, the multiverse thing, your understanding of alternate planes where the things we imagine become real comes from that. Multiverse thing, your things we imagine.
I missed that last.
Or things that we imagine that become real
Right.
is from multiverse theory, or is it trying to?
I would put it as
explain
both.
that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I would say both multiverse theory and also a pretty good understanding of Descartes. Descartes
What is it about? What is it about
you know,
Descartes that leads you to believe that there are things we imagine existing in another plane?
I think, therefore I am. The whole point of Descartes'
How does that-
philosophy is that because we know that we exist and we think that the rest of reality exists, why can't what we think be true elsewhere too?
Is that the point of Descartes? Descartes was saying that what we imagine is true elsewhere too.
It is not a point in there, but I would extrapolate it.
Oh, I see. Something you extrapolate.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that the same as saying that it's something you've imagined?
Oh, I'm really sorry. That's me working on my journals. I'll stop.
So, because of Descartes, and because of an understanding you have of multiverse theory, you've decided that there is another plane, like a sheet, parallel to our own, where the things we imagine are real.
Yes, I would also say that there are a lot of planes, but, I'm not an expert. This is just my understanding.
At what point does a thought exist beyond thought? At what point are you thinking something into existence?
I would say it takes a great deal of conjoined effort from a lot of different people, but I don't have quantities, unfortunately.
Then what would make you say that?
Have you ever heard of the evangelical egregore?
Mm-hmm.
There's a very big difference in the evangelical egregore and actual biblical Jesus. Right?
Okay.
But I also went to a non-Catholic but still Christian school. I experienced both of these, I could say, aspects or versions really constantly throughout my childhood and up to about 18. It's very interesting to see the differences. But also there are people who just genuinely 100% believe that the evangelical egregore version of Jesus is the real Jesus. And it's very, I hate it.
But so you're saying you buy into that? You buy into
Yes.
the evangelical egregore? You believe
100%.
that that's a real thing?
Yes.
Why?
Why not?
Well, what makes you seem what again, what takes it from an idea to an actual real being, an actual real thing. I can understand how it's an idea. I guess I'm not getting the distinction between a thought and a reality, an idea and an existence. Where's the distinction?
So, may I use a news example kind of idea?
By all means.
Okay. So, if enough people believe a false piece of information presented by the media, even if the truth is later revealed, do people revert to the truth? Or do they want to believe the lie?
So you're saying that things are real if people refuse to acknowledge the truth?
I think things can be real that way, even if it's... That's a good question. I don't know.
That's a good answer.
I'm still studying.
I think it's worth continuing that study and knowing the distinction between real and not real.
And that's why I am still studying.
Is your belief affected by what is real and what is not real?
Somewhat.
If the things that you are saying you believe in now, it turns out you get more information and it's not real, will that affect your belief?
It depends on what part of the belief. Because right now, I generally believe that God is a shitty being. The Christian God.
But you do believe in that shitty being.
I think he exists. I don't like him.
Why? Why do you believe he exists?
Partly cultural indoctrination. Probably mostly that, honestly.
Why does that matter?
Why doesn't it?
Because if you know, or if you, that doesn't tie you to a belief. Cultural indoctrination is information, but you've since received other information, and that's why you say you're a faux Catholic. That's actually one of the first questions I asked in the comments, but anyway.
Oh, I'm so sorry I missed that.
No. That's actually, I'm glad that you're bringing it up, because the comments are just for us to talk amongst ourselves. But why identify with Catholicism?
I think there are a lot of good things in the catechism of the church, but I am not about to follow the doctrine blindly.
There are good things to be found in a lot of things that I would find, on the whole, abhorrent.
Yeah.
Should I then co-sign the entire organization?
I did not. Specifically, folk Catholicism, as far as I understand, is the practice of doing traditions that your ancestors may have done, or you can prove they did.
Folk? F-O-L-K?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were saying faux, or I don't know how to pronounce, I'm sorry.
No.
I thought you were saying F-A-U-X, faux Catholicism.
No, folk as in
What are we doing
people.
here? Actually, I still have the same question. What are we doing here? That's okay. All right, so it's an ancestral veneration?
Yeah, it's much more ancestral veneration kind of thing for me.
What part of the ritual is what is the point of the ritual then? What is it, something that is just symbolic? Is it, what part of a Catholic ritual, how do I frame this question?
If you're asking if I use Catholic items and practices in my rituals, then yes. And why those? Specifically because my ancestors either had to or chose to use those to be in their rituals. So like, for example, I have Immaculate Heart of Mary candles.
I guess why would you default to what they had to hide in and not what they wanted to practice?
Well, my family is Irish for the most part. So, in part, they had to hide their Catholicism, from the British. But also, the things that they had to hide in you know, even if, for example, if a great-great-grandmother was a Bonfassa and she, had to do these things and she was still helping people, but she had to do it in a Catholic framework, why should I deny that part of her?
But, okay.
So this is your form of ancestor veneration.
Yes.
How do you reconcile that with the Catholic rejection of witchcraft?
It's actually my focus for this next year for my studies. I have 12 books about this kind of thing that I'm going to be reading. Specifically, I'm starting with Discovering Christian Witchcraft, which does actually discuss how a lot of the words that you see in the original text don't necessarily mean witch. They have specific meanings and specific rituals they reference that you should not do.
Friv, have you read the Bible?
Yes.
From beginning to end?
Yes.
Have you studied it in its full context?
If you're asking if I have started looking into like the meanings of different words based on what part of we're initially in, yes, I have. I'm not an expert by any means, and I'm still working on it. And of course, as I am not a Hebrew scholar or a Greek scholar, it's a little tricky, so I am relying on other scholars.
When I can't say when, well, I can say when, when you experience conflict between these traditions, which one will take precedence for you? Or have you experienced it already?
I have.
Which one took precedence for you?
It kind of depends on the situation.
So you said you have. What was the situation, if you don't mind sharing?
My husband and I got married in a Catholic church.
Okay. Where was the conflict?
reason we got married in a Catholic church is he and his family are devoutly Catholic. I have a great deal of respect for his beliefs because it's what's right for him. He actually has a great deal of respect for my beliefs and will actually find me books when I request them and get them for me.
Was he willing to do any type of marriage ceremony outside of his religious beliefs?
We actually have discussed doing a renewal of our vows in like a different kind of situation. We just haven't gotten there yet because money has been tight.
So when your traditions conflict, that one was based on other people's feelings or your own, like...
Both of us. Having grown up in a Catholic church and a Catholic family, I did really like the idea of getting married in a Catholic home, in a Catholic church, you know. It's very traditional for my family to do that. And I fake it if I need to. And also, I just really love the beauty of the Mass. I don't take communion, though, because that'd be improper for them.
Sorry, Thrayle.
Go ahead.
Do the Catholic ethics and the Morrigan's values ever clash for you?
Not generally. If you're talking specifically things like abortion and such, I don't agree with the Catholic Church. If we're talking about protection or other things, I'm always going to protect someone if I need to. That's both the Morgan and the Church saying that humans have dignity inherently. In the sense that the Morgan, for me, in my interpretation of her stories, says that I am the sovereign of myself. I don't need to follow the rules that others will put down for me unless I'm going to hurt others. The church believes that all people have an inherent dignity and therefore.
What do you do about that? How so?
I try to make sure that contraception and such things are available where I am. I'm trying to do my best. I can't do everything. I am disabled, but I do what I can.
I understand limited capacity. I do wonder why you still take part in a system that kind of goes against what your beliefs are, your actual beliefs.
I don't donate to the church. I don't, my husband doesn't either. Neither of us really tithe.
But that's what I mean. But okay, I guess that's where I'm confused, because you're claiming this identity, right? And you're saying that you believe it. You got married in a church. You love mass. There's things about the church that you believe in, but then there's also things that you really, really don't agree with, and you will stand up against, right?
Right.
And so I wonder, why hold on to that label and that identification at all?
Mainly for the connection with those who have gone before me and to my family.
Can you not find that in other ways, though?
Not necessarily.
Because ancestor veneration is not dependent on their belief system.
No, I know.
They had whole lives and identities outside of it, right?
I'm aware.
So I wonder what draws you to their religious beliefs as the tie for your ancestor veneration.
Specifically, I want to honor the practices they had while they were hiding within the church.
What do you mean hiding within the church?
If you look at a lot of practices that folk practitioners would count as witchcraft if they were not in that historical context, right?
So why further... How do I articulate this? Why... You know what? Give me a sec.
Yep.
Why would you continue practicing in this system that muted and their sovereignty? Why would that be the connection point in your ancestral veneration when it was something that harmed them? How is that honoring them?
So, the thing is that I think you might be forgetting is that the church has existed for 2,000 years.
I didn't forget that.
Right. So, because the church has existed for 2,000 years, and I believe Ireland was colonized for the most part and became more Catholic overtly in about the 1100s, I think. I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
So that's 900 years of people practicing in that faith. The first generations probably were pretty upset. But 400 years in, I can't deny their truth either.
But you... okay, keep going.
So, the ancestors I can really name, like legitimately name, were devout Catholics who also practice what we would call witchcraft nowadays.
Where did you get that information from?
My family.
Okay.
They were closeted witches, essentially.
Not necessarily. They didn't see themselves as such. In a lot of cases, they just saw themselves as people who would help.
Help what? What?
Help others in their community.
Were they superheroes or witches? What did they do?
They were the wise women of their community who would help with, births and help with medicine and such things.
Right, but like here's where I'm struggling, because we know historically, not by just assuming this is how our ancestors felt, right? But we know historically on paper that there were many people who held those roles who were persecuted by the very organization that we are now venerating as a way to connect to those people. So that's why I'm confused.
So the thing is, if you look at actual numbers for Ireland specifically, it's a much lower number as a whole by multitudes.
Okay. Where are you getting these numbers from?
I don't have the study in front of me.
I still feel that your ancestors were the wise women, that your ancestors were the witches in hiding. They were the ones that were actually in danger and could have been persecuted or victimized by the very organization that you are including in your ancestor veneration. So that's why I'm confused. Why include that organization at all?
Because they were also Catholic? Because they were doing this within the context of the faith? That's how they believed? I'm sorry, I missed what you said. Doesn't mean they didn't do it.
Okay.
I am sorry. I'm not trying to dismiss your arguments.
Mostly they're not arguments. They're questions.
No,
But Friv, can you question your beliefs?
Yes, I do, all the time.
What does that mean?
To question? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
To study, to learn, to interpret and go, is this actually what I need, what is right for me?
Does it matter if what you believe is true to the rest of reality or not?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
You're not sure if it matters?
No.
You're not sure if it... Why do you think that is?
Are you asking why I'm not sure?
Has it ever mattered?
To me or in general?
To you.
It has in the past. I don't think I need it to be real anymore.
What do you need it to be?
Mine.
So it's better that it's yours, that it's personalized, than that it's coherent with reality.
I don't know. I think if it makes sense to me, then everybody else can just fuck off. Because, yes, I want to explain, and yes, I understand that, but, if it's not hurting anybody else.
Do you think that there is any possibility that it hurts you?
That is part of why I do the studying. If it does hurt me, I'll stop.
If you in your studies found that there was some reason to believe that what you believed was not only harmful but also wrong, just not true, would it change the way you live your life?
Probably not too much. Like, if you're asking, would I have a dramatic change of what I'm believing? Yes, probably. Would it change my life in a big, huge way that, changes exactly what I'm doing for the rest of my life? Probably not really.
I don't think I have any more questions, Friv.
Okay.
I appreciate you coming up and answering.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hope that you keep asking questions and then question those answers. Interesting.
That was something for sure. For me, sorry. Next.
Oh, that's okay. They're going to take a second to load in.
I was just going to say the mental gymnastics too. For me, and I'm absolutely certain that guest was not doing mental gymnastics. They were solid in what they were believing. But like for me, it was just like, man, this devotion, is it honoring them or just for like honoring their constraint or their mask they had to wear? That was wild. That was a wild thought for me.
Yeah. How do you know what they actually believed if you can't question them?
Right.
Hello, USA Strong. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS? USA, did you mean to join? I'm gonna guess not. We'll go ahead and set you down. Let's see if we do have any other potential believers in here. Hello, Seventh Warrior. Can I get your age for TikTok TOS? Higher power or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm from the Boys Fort Band of Chippewa. We're American Indian. We have a spirit being we believe in that was the creator of all things, Gitche Manitou.
And you believe this spirit being exists in a way that is real and interacts with reality?
Yeah, it created all of reality, I believe. The word Gitche Manitou actually means the great mystery, so we don't acknowledge that we understand how it works, but we believe there is something that kind of binds everything together and has created everything.
If it is a great mystery, then how would you be able to even unify it into a singular idea of a thing that binds all together and creates?
How would we what? I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you call it the great mystery, then why would you assume that it is a singular thing that binds things together and creates?
Well, that's, I guess, how I would explain it. I don't know if it's a singular thing, a force, a bunch of energy. It's the great mystery. So our practices are very tribalistic, So
I like the idea of calling it the mystery, but I wonder why you would unify it into one thing and assume it created.
yeah, we have oral traditions talking about the creator making the sound of a rattle and it saying all of existence into being. That doesn't explain much to me scientifically. That's why I question my beliefs all the time. Like, what is this story trying to teach us, if anything? You know?
Yeah. Does it
Not
have to
much to
be?
go on that. It's a very primitive culture and belief system, which I think benefited our tribes at the time. It spoke more of morality and how to be prepared, how to think about the past and the future to benefit all the people.
Oh, go ahead, Morgan.
Do you hold space for the possibility that it's not a higher power, that it's something that could potentially be explained eventually?
I would like to think that sometime we would be able to explain it. Yes, I don't see why, if it is a higher being or something else, why it would always make itself a mystery.
Mm-hmm. If it were to be discovered that it is not some being with sentience and it's just some scientific explanation, what would that do to your belief?
I would think that our belief system would be then like us trying to rationalize what we don't know. You know, all this science that's going on, we acknowledge it, but we can't explain it. So we create these stories to maybe guide us, maybe just entertain, but to keep up people together as one community. So yeah, I guess some type of control almost.
Is it control? Like, if anybody questions these stories, like, is questioning the creator belief, is that discouraged? Or is it embraced? Or maybe some kind of neutral in between?
I guess in our culture it is embraced. Of course, there's always those people that say that you need to follow one way, but all of our stories are similar, but also different in certain ways. Where the moral of the story is always preserved and not really perverted.
Right. I think that that's kind of a key, where when you're looking at a method of control, that's kind of a key aspect of that. I wonder, have you ever felt uncertainty when it comes to your beliefs or your tradition?
I don't fully understand why all the ancient stories, they were lost, a lot of them,
Yeah.
and without knowing my actual tribal language, um, uh, the language is key to our culture. It's, you can't translate everything correctly, you know, like the Bible.
How was your uncertainty handled? Did you ever bring it to like an elder or somebody that had more of the position of guidance?
Oh yeah, yep. Community elders I talk to are tribal leaders. I even have friends that are like Catholic. There's a preacher buddy of mine. I try to bounce off ideas all
So
the
how
time.
was your uncertainty handled when you brought it to them?
I found similarities in other religions, which makes me believe that uh, maybe all these religions are created for certain societies to help them guide them to the end.
I get that. How did you find, you said you found similarities, did you find differences?
There were some religions that were more, I don't want to say perverted, but more controlling. That
You can absolutely say that, yeah.
Yeah, had more requirement than mine.
you say that would you say that your belief system, and I'm totally operating off of speaking with other Ojibwe people, and so I know it's not a monolith, but I want to ask you specifically, would you say that your belief in creator is something that you is the belief something you hold, or is the belief something that you participate in, like actively, like build relation with?
I believe your relationship with the creator or whatever it is personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, strictly personal, and it can be influenced by other people, but that's why some of our elders tell us never to ask why. If you're going out and looking for a certain answer, somebody will give it to you. Answer.
I love that. I love that, actually.
So, I mean, because if you go searching for something, you will find it in anything you. And
I
find it in any.
more important than the answer. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, so our culture was super simple because we lived very simple until the colonists got here. So we were more concerned with, the one thing that I find different with our culture too is taking care of the land and the earth. Some societies and cultures leave that out, and ours is one that's focused on that. And we like to humble ourselves and remind ourselves that the earth, we're nothing without it. And if we don't take care of it, that'll be the end of us.
Do you think of your stories as literal or like moral teachings?
I'm kind of like 50-50 because we've got these crazy stories that you'd never think were real, but these spirit beings, these giant people. But then you hear stories that talk about like giant beaver and the megafauna that were here a long time ago that were actually here. And maybe it were those stories from long, long ago, the Ice Age or something. But I don't know if I believe in spirits and things. If they were here, I don't see them anymore at all, really.
Is seeing required for believing?
No, but yeah, that's a good point. I guess maybe the spirits we were taught.
Is a spirit to you?
Well, our tales tell of them as these kind of mystical beings that could take form of different animals and stuff, but had personal qualities to them, or people qualities. And they were always doing something, good or bad, that was teaching us a lesson. So it's the story itself.
Is it about maintaining some kind of loyalty to ancestry, or are the traditions valuable enough to stand on their own?
I think they're valuable enough to stand on their own. If there wasn't actually these spirit creatures that walked the earth, even if they weren't here, the stories are enough to guide us. It's funny, all of our stories have comedy in them. I was told that they have comedy in them so they can always kind of be changed or interpreted instead of being strict, cut and dry rules. If that makes sense.
If you were to find out that your stories were incorrect, that that they were just myths, would you still pass them on? Would you still carry on the
absolutely. Yeah.
traditions?
The stories, like I said, have good morals, good reasoning. I'll tie back to the land, the earth, the animals. So,
Would
yeah,
you
I would.
still believe in the creator?
If I found out all the tales were wrong, that's all we have to believe in our creator. So if I found out that tale was wrong, then I couldn't believe in the creator. Of our tales that you'd have to invalidate pretty much everything that our entire ancestors in society now says is wrong.
Would
It's embedded into all of our stories and traditions and things, so it could be all wrong.
would somehow disproving this creator change the way you live your life, the way you carry your traditions?
No, I don't think so. I think our ancestors' teachings are good enough that if they were built on mysticism, which they kind of are already, they're good to pass on to other people. Kind of like the Bible has good stories in it, but has also been taken and used for bad things. I think that's what religion is all about. We like to put a name on it, follow exactly what people say.
What do you get? What does your belief system add to your life? What do you get from it?
I get a better the earth understanding of the earth and its how we have to keep it in balance with people for us to prosper. It also teaches us how to, as we've got these 7 grandfather teachings, they're called, and they're kind of like morals, how to be a good person. So we've got a lot of stories that help us take care of ourselves, our body, and be a good person to other people.
When you are faced with things that directly